gonna get crucified on this one if anybody fucking watches this video. But Pedri is better than Iniesta, man, and I'm sorry to break that shit to you. And let's get onto this rant. Pedri is Iniesta but upgraded. Why? Because Pedri is a mix of Xavi and Iniesta. If you wonder where I'm on the debate of Xavi versus Iniesta, I'm on the Xavi side. Because at the end of the day, I know dribbling is important, but dribbling is only important because you're able to play make or score through it. Dribbling is only important because it's under the assumption that you progress up the pitch, and while you're progressing up the pitch, because you're dribbling and dragging players, you're creating space in order to make plays for your teammates to score a goal, or you're able to dribble past players, enough to get your shot off and score a goal. That's the only reason why dribbling is that important. And Iniesta, don't get me wrong, especially later in his career, became exceptional playmaker, okay? Xavi, though, better in every sense of the word, okay? He was just a better playmaker. Iniesta, a bit better, bit better in the final third, but even that's debatable, okay? Iniesta was better dribbling in the final thirds, which gave him the advantage in the final third to, make chances and score goals, especially clutch goals, as you could tell. But I feel like those clutch goals, they give him a lot of credit. But enough credit in the bank to discount Xavi? I don't think so. Enough credit in the bank to say he's better than Xavi? I don't think so. So that's the reason why I'm like, I look at this and I'm like, Iniesta, at the end of the day, you're not a better playmaker than Xavi. All right, you're a better goal scorer, but you're not even that much better of a goal scorer than Xavi. You're one of the greatest midfielders of all time, undeniably. Okay? But at the end of the day, I feel like people say this because he's a technical genius that's just able to dribble past people, right? And that's incredible because he's also an incredible playmaker. But then when you compare him to all-time fucking greats like Pedri, it's like you see that and you're like, oh my God, Iniesta, you're magnificent. All right? You can just say that comparison to basically everybody else. But then you compare Iniesta to an all-time talent like Pedri, you have to be harsher. You have to be, if you're comparing Messi to, let's say, a Frank Ribery, no slouch of a player. Don't no slouch of a player. But you compare Messi to Frank Ribery, and you're like, it's Messi, guys. Come on, this is a whole different level. Okay, like you see Iniesta take his magnificent touches, magnificent dribbles. You're like, oh my God. But then you're like, if you compare it to like every other player, you're like, come on, guys, it's Iniesta. He's an all-time great, okay? And even among the all-time greats, he has pretty good dribbling. But again, like I said, dribbling is not everything. So basically, I just don't want it to get twisted. Iniesta is still an all-time great. But then when you compare Iniesta to these other all-time greats, you have to be a bit harsher. So when we're comparing him to Pedri, you have to be harsher. You look at it. Pedri versus Iniesta. Who is the better dribbler? Who is a better dribbler, Pedri or Iniesta? Iniesta had definitely been more explosive, been more rough with his dribbling. Can be, But in my opinion, I know y'all are gonna fucking fall. I know if anybody watches it, they're gonna flame me. Pedri is a better dribbler. He is more unstoppable in his dribbling than Iniesta. I swear to you, because he's not as explosive per se as like prime Iniesta. He's able to ride off challenges better than Pedri, I'd say. But the way Pedri deceives every single body, no matter the intensity, Iniesta was never going against a midfield even close to the physicality of Newcastle's. Pedri was fucking riding that wave. He was fucking riding it. Okay, I said physicality. Okay, come on, don't flame me in the shit for that. Okay, but Pedri, the ability he has to just beat so fucking easily, beat everybody, consistently do it is one. I promise, I swear to you, go rewatch Iniesta's game. He's not doing a lot, Pedri. He's not doing it like Pedri. Okay, but then you look at at the playmaking ability. Pedri surpassed that. You see Pedri, okay? This season has been a little patchy and shit, but last season, Oh my God, he was disgusting. He was disgusting. In this season as well, even in some games, even better. His playmaking is disgusting, better than Iniesta's, especially at this age, bro. I'm comparing him to prime Iniesta. Iniesta, when he got older, also got like in a way better playmaking. His playmaking developed in an insane level. Pedri, 20. Wait, how much is he? How old is he? 22, 23? His playmaking, in my opinion, is already better than prime Iniesta. Just my opinion. I'm sorry. The way he creates space, the way he drags so much players, the way he just like is able to like just intercept. No, not intercept, but like thread the ball, is able to create space for other players, is able to drag so many players in and release it into a player. The through balls, the quality of the passes, all of it, in my opinion, is better than Iniesta. Not by that much, but in my opinion, it is better than Iniesta. If you compare it to Xavi, though, I do think Xavi has Pedri beyond the playmaking, but that we're not on that right now. But I still think Xavi is the greatest midfielder of all time, in my opinion. I'm definitely a Xavi over Iniesta guy, Xavi over everybody guy. But then you look at what would be another thing. That's one of the more important. Controlling the game. This is undeniable. Xavi was doing the controlling in the game for Barcelona. Guess who wasn't? Iniesta. Also, if I can say this, Pedri is much more calm under pressure than Iniesta, and I get it because Iniesta is definitely more of a final third type of player. But I'm just stating it. It just has to be stated that Pedri is better at under pressure. Okay, he's able to ride off a fucking press like there's no fucking tomorrow. Okay, like his last day on earth, he's able to do every single game. Okay, but in terms of like final third, which again is one of the less important aspects of this. In that scenario, I do think Iniesta beats Pedri out by a bit, because although Pedri's like final third passing, I think is better than Iniesta's in some aspects. I think Iniesta is much better like on the wing, for example. Is more dynamic and better on the wing, is able to cross the ball better. He also has like more moments of brilliance in terms of striking the ball. He's definitely a better striker of the ball as well. So I just think in the final 30, Iniesta hasn't beat on there. But in terms of like controlling tempo and all that shit, Pedri hasn't beat. Dribbling, passing, playmaking, almost every aspect, Pedri hasn't beat. In terms of defending, I do think Pedri hasn't beat. I think Pedri has a bit better positional defending, although Pedri could be better. I say they're about equal in defense, and in terms of physicality, I do think Iniesta has a better first step. Is a bit chunkier, if I remember correctly. So I think he's a bit like stronger than Pedri, but Pedri is definitely faster than Iniesta. Again, I see. And in terms of stamina, I don't know who actually has better stamina. Maybe Pedri, maybe Iniesta. I'd say Pedri because his role definitely requires a lot more stamina. So I guess I give it to Pedri, but in terms of physicality, is also equal. So yeah, those are my reasons. And the reason why I say, okay, look, in terms of all-time rankings in the tables, Pedri is still not greater than Iniesta, because Iniesta has accomplished so much. Pedri still needs a couple, definitely some years to surpass him. But in terms of who I think was better, in terms of their prime, Pedri last season, oh my God. That season was so fucking crazy. It's one of the greatest midfielder seasons I've ever seen. I swear to, I'm not fucking trolling. That season of Pedri is better than any season from Iniesta ever. Better than any Iniesta season. I'm not fucking playing, bro. Y'all have a good one. I swear I'm not trying to disrespect Iniesta. I'm a Barcelona fan, in case you couldn't tell. But y'all have a good one.